99 Moons opens by introducing us to Bigna, a young woman who seems emotionally detached and fiercely independent. She's a scientist, methodical and guarded, someone who keeps her world tightly controlled. Her life is structured around rules, boundaries, and experiments, both in the lab and in her personal life. This rigid system is her way of staying safe from the unpredictability of emotions. On the other side is Jan, a gentle, free-spirited man who is drifting through his 20s without a defined direction. He has recently come out of a long-term relationship, and his life feels uncertain and unanchored. Unlike Bigna, Jan embraces emotion and vulnerability, even when it leaves him wounded. Their personalities are opposites, and their worlds barely overlap until a chance encounter ignites something intense between them. When Bigna and Jan meet, the film dives straight into their physical chemistry. Bigna is drawn to the rawness and spontaneity Jan offers, while Jan is attracted to the mystery and emotional walls she carries. Their connection is not slow or gentle, it's explosive from the beginning. Yet instead of pulling them into a stable relationship, this intensity becomes the first sign of how mismatched their emotional needs are. Bigna treats their encounters like controlled experiments. She sets boundaries, insists on detachment, and tries to define their connection as something purely physical. Jan, however, quickly desires something deeper. He starts hoping for emotional closeness, affection, and love, needs that Bigna cannot or will not fulfill. This imbalance becomes the central conflict of the film. The more Jan tries to get closer, the more Bigna pushes back. She fears losing control, fearing intimacy in a way she can't fully explain. The film portrays her not as cold, but as someone battling internal barriers shaped by past experiences and unspoken trauma. Meanwhile, Jan grows increasingly confused, trying to understand why their connection feels so real, yet so unreachable. As their relationship intensifies, Bigna's behavior becomes more erratic. Sometimes, she pulls Jan close, unable to resist the desire and comfort he brings. Other times, she disappears, shuts down emotionally, or lashes out when she feels pressured. This push-pull dynamic leaves Jan emotionally exhausted, but still unable to walk away. Their love becomes an addictive, yet painful cycle. Jan tries multiple times to set boundaries for himself, hoping to protect his heart. But Bigna's unpredictability keeps pulling him back in. He sees glimpses of vulnerability in her, flashes of genuine affection that make him believe she might eventually open up. However, each attempt at closeness triggers Bigna's fear of dependency, causing her to retreat once again. Their relationship soon reaches a breaking point. Jan realizes that he is slowly losing himself, constantly trying to prove his worth or waiting for emotional crumbs. Bigna, on the other hand, struggles with the guilt of hurting someone who genuinely cares for her. Yet she cannot change the way she is wired. The film makes no villain out of either character, only two people whose emotional realities simply do not align. In the final stages of the story, both characters must confront the truth. Chemistry is not enough to build something lasting. Jan starts choosing self-preservation over longing, recognizing that loving Bigna means living in perpetual uncertainty. Bigna, in her own way, begins to understand that her inability to commit pushes away the very connection she secretly desires. 99 Moons ends on a bittersweet note, emphasizing the brutality and beauty of human relationships. The film does not offer a fairy tale resolution. Instead, it highlights how some connections are transformative, yet unsustainable. Bigna and Jan shared something real, but without emotional compatibility, it could not survive. Their story becomes a reminder that love can be powerful, consuming, and unforgettable, even if it isn't meant to last.